So it took everyone 2 years to figure out that I was right.
Earlier today, I spoke with the family of Breonna Taylor. This morning, they were informed that the Justice Department has charged 4 current and former Louisville Metro Police Department officers with federal crimes related to Ms. Taylor's death.
The mayor of Louisville, Kentucky started a hit squad to harass people of color in poor neighborhoods. The house that Breonna Taylor was renting from was sitting in the middle of a gentrification project that the mayor's developer buddies need to get rid of before they could start construction. So after cops arrested an actual drug dealer 10 miles and 10 minutes after, they faked a search warrant to go harass Breonna Taylor.
Those alleged crimes include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses. We allege that the defendants knew their actions in falsifying the affidavit could create a dangerous situation.
Yeah, the dangerous situation was getting Breonna Taylor shot so the city could buy her house for $1. What, you thought I made that number up?
Without a lawful objective justifying the use of deadly force, defendant Hankerson traveled away from Ms. Taylor's doorway to the side of the building and fired 10 shots into Breonna Taylor's apartment through a bedroom window and a sliding glass door that were both covered with blinds and curtains.
Yeah, remember all those Blue Lives Matter people talking about, oh, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot 1 round first and then all the cops were returning fire. That's not what happened. One cop went to the side of the house and emptied a mag into a window. Yeah, you clowns are trying to be like, oh, the cops are scared for their lives, trying to give them qualified immunity when one dude literally went to the side of the house to do a hit job.
Per YouTube's community guidelines, I have to stress that all things aforementioned are alleged. All things aforementioned are alleged. However, I would like to see in the comment section how many people actually believed that story about Breonna Taylor's boyfriend firing first, especially if you belong to the African American community, because we are a community that is so familiar with fabricated stories by corrupted police officers that we know them when we hear them, and we cannot explain how we know them when we hear them, but we do. For example, there was a little girl who was living in a duplex. I believe she was 7 years old when she was shot in her head, and her parents were forced to sit in her brains on the couch. Right? There was supposed to be some kind of a illegal substances bust, if you will. And the people in question were actually her neighbors. The cops weren't sure which house to go into. They chose hers. She was on the couch. She moved. They shot her. Now, what they said about shooting her was that her black African American grandmother reached for the police officer's gun and he fired, and the bullet went through the child's head. I will add her name to the description below because at the moment it escapes me. But so many of us, as soon as we heard that story, we knew that it was a fabrication, because there is not an African American grandmother alive who would reach for a police officer's gun. Due to certain things in our culture, we know that it has a snowball's chance in hell of existing. Bringing me back to Breonna Taylor and the alleged story of her boyfriend firing first. Now, I also want to say this about Breonna Taylor, who was truly a victim of a hit job, allegedly. For you people who sat here online calling her a trap queen, saying she had it coming, for you people who made fun of her, for you people who had no empathy, and I'm still talking to the African American community, particularly manosphere, manospherettes, manosphere sweethearts, the Negro manosphere. Now that you know that she was a hit job for gentrification, maybe you want to go back through your content and listen to the terrible things you said about Breonna Taylor. and apologize. Uppity and I'm out.